Hi there, this is Santiago Zapata, and this is a streaming session of the development of OpenArthurianX6. If you don't know what OpenArthurian is, it's a crowdfunded RPG engine that we are developing, and what makes this engine different is that it allows to create games similar to Ultima 6 or classic similar games, and we have been working on it for a while now. It was founded about 2 months ago, and I am doing this mainly with a friend, Camilo Ramirez. Um, so yeah, this is the current status of the game. If you are curious about it, actually let me do something here. I will rebuild it so it's bigger on the screen. Um, One second. Okay. Well, it didn't work. All right, it's better now. So basically, you can move around the map, and that's actually we managed to implement that before the end of the crowdfunding campaign, but it was a very rough implementation. We had to polish it a bit now, and we also added a made the actually it was already there, the other entities on the map moving around, but we had to do some work on it for it to work better. We also have dialogues working, and actually I still gotta integrate with the changes that Camilo did, because these dialogues are like the first iteration, but he went over that and fixed some stuff. So yeah, what you will expect, you can talk with the NPCs, with some NPCs, and there are some highlight words that you can talk about, and yeah, it also includes like support for very long texts. um, but I'm actually going to go ahead and sorry and integrate with these changes, and I hope it works. But before that, I will also show you what I have been working on, which is the combat mode. So basically, as you can see, there's like this is a grid-based game. So the movement is grid-based, but the enemies or the mobs, the other entities on the map, are moving not in a turn-based fashion, but rather freely, almost freely. So I think this is more of an hybrid mode, but I can enter the combat mode, and when I do that, then all the turns are streamlined and movement becomes sequential. So it's like a switch between the two interaction modes. Of course, there was a bit of work making that work, because there needs to be like a synchronization phase where all the entities are like aligned, and we make sure that they are like synchronized to start in the turn-based mode. But then uh, I implemented this, and also the other thing that I have implemented so far is the attack action. So when it's your turn, you can attack an enemy in a direction. It's like a melee attack, and they die because well, I have a very strong weapon that I did just for testing, and basically that's it for what I have done in the combat mode. And the idea in this session is to work on the actual enemies, so that they don't just walk around. Instead, they actively hunt you and try to kill you. So that's what we are going to be working on. But before that, I would like to integrate with the changes that Camilo did on the dialogues. And this is the first time I'm going to check them out. So let's see how that works. Okay. Okay, done. I'm going to rebuild, and actually for the building I am using a bash script. Camilo actually implemented some gulp scripts for it, but they are still not complete. I think we need to do some more work on that to include like the assembly phase. The way that the engine is built is that it has an assemble and package phase. So in the assemble phase, we kind of take the specific resources for a given game. I mean the images and everything, and we put them on a package on a place, and then we package everything in a single executable package of sorts. So that part is still not there. So let's see the changes that Camilo did on the dialogues. One of them was make it so that the other well, okay, we need to clear the cache here. Cache. Let's see. And by the way, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them on the chat. I will take a look from time to time. Okay, much better. All right. Well, basically, there was like 10 changes or something that I sent him. One of them was making a better use of the space on the dialogue, so that you can fit more text there. All right, working great. Okay, Lauren. And another one was putting this blinking arrow when there's a lot of text, so it's working great. Right, working. I like it. That's good. All right, so let's start working in what we want to do, which is the enemies on the map. So the idea is to make somehow mark these mobs as hostile, right? I think so. So that instead of just walking around, they will seek another entities, probably with a different alignment, and try to attack them. And the other thing that we are going to do is making sure that the combat mode is triggered whenever this happens, so that the player party can start attacking them. There's no party yet, it's just the player, but in the future we are going to add that. So first I would like to ask the founders. We have a dev channel which is up for the people that funded the development of this engine after a given limit threshold. I don't know. So I would like to ask them if the stream is working fine. Let's see. Right, nothing in the chat. Okay. So let's see. Great. Thank you, Joseph. So for now, let's make all the mobs hostile. Then we can like fix and make it so that they are different. So we have a class which is representing the mobs. Actually, the player is also a mob, but it's special because it's controlled by the user interface. That's like the only difference that it has when compared to other mobs. So let's do this. Let's make it like this. So that alignment is let's try like this. And then when we create the player here in the player factory, we are going to make sure that the alignment is and then when the mob is acting, so it has this phase when he decides what to do. And basically what we're doing here is that if the mob is the player, it's going to take a different path, because We are not going to relay the actual deciding what to do to an AI module, but rather to the user interface. But in this case, this is like the current behavior of the mobs. So basically they have a random chance of just walking in a random direction or doing nothing. That's what they do now. So what we are going to do is check if the alignment of the mod is, let's say, neutral, something like that. It's going to do this, but if it's not, it's going to check for nearby mobs that have a different alignment. And this is, well, in Ultima 6 there's a kind of an alignment called used for the animals. So basically, if the animals there don't actively attack you unless you attack him, and then they become hostile, but they normally don't attack. So maybe this will work. Maybe we can change this later so that this behavior is preserved for also for mobs that have an alignment but don't have any target nearby. We will see. Okay. Golden Flame asking what IDE am I using? Well, this is, oh, well, thank you, Dimort. Okay. Well, actually, I'm going to try to record this and post it on YouTube and also on Twitch. But yeah, I mean, if any of you cannot watch it right now, you can then watch it later. Alright, let's keep on this line of thought. So we need to find like what's the nearby target. And maybe what we're going to do is something like this. If we have a nearby target, if we do not have a nearby target, or our alignment is neutral, then we're going to do this. But if we do have a nearby target, then we're going to do something else. And what we are going to do is find the direction to that target. And I think I actually had some utility methods for that, but I'm going to assume that I don't. So we are going to manually calculate the direction to the target. So it will be the sign of the subtraction between the target X position and our own X position probably. So let's see if we are the number 0 and it's on 5, then it's 5 minus 0, which is 1. That's correct. Yeah, this will work. Probably if it doesn't work, then we're going to just change it. And we are going to do the same for the I, Y, Y, right? And we are going to just check if there's a mob at that position. So initially we will not have pathfinding. We will just like try to run straight into the enemy. Afterwards we can implement the pathfinding probably. So let's see, we actually have a function to check if there's a mob. Yeah, this one. Okay. Yeah. So we are going to do this here. Check if there is a mob at that position, right? And if there's one, we are going to check the alignment because it may be a different mob. So if the alignment of the mob is different than my alignment, then it's an enemy. If not, I am blocked. So in this case, it's where I could do like a simple pathfinding. For now, let's just move randomly if this happens, and if we are lucky, maybe the player will believe that the mobs are smarter than they really are. But this is what is more important for us. So I'm going to just mark this here. And we're going to test how this works. Since the attack option is not still implemented, we are going to just assume that we can always walk to them. So here we are going to do nothing, so we are just going to copy this here, and if there's no mob, then it's an open space and we will just walk in that direction. So we are going to do this, move to that direction, and actually the move to function, which is already implemented, takes care of having a delay. So this should work. Let's see how that works. So I'm going to rebuild because I don't have a watch. Actually, Camilo implemented a watch, but as I said, doesn't seem to work completely for me. But we can actually try to make it work. So let's see. It's here in Gulp, and I think it was Gold Watch, probably. I'm not sure. Gold Watch. I will try to use it. I hope it works. Any case, we already built, so let's see how it works. And it's crashing. Let's see what's the error here. DX has already been declared. Alright. So it's on the appearance factory. Alright. Maybe it's because I already have a DX somewhere here. Right. Problem is probably here. No, it's here, I think. Let's, let's see. What will be the best course of action here? Let's make this variable and delete this from here. And we can also run the actual linter. Log is defined but never used. Stat is defined but never used. That's right, because I used to have some stuff here, but I no longer do. By the way, what branch am I on? That's a good question. Oh well, is this right? Yeah, it's okay. It's going to work. Okay, so let's continue linting here. Okay, use triple equals. That makes sense. Use triple equals. Necessary semicolon. Where is the unnecessary semicolon? Yeah, this linter has some issues because it won't always point to the right line where the error is. Sorry, I have a Sublime. Someday I will. Phaser. It's another global. We are actually using Phaser, by the way, for this project, which is Phaser is a JavaScript game development library. Missing semicolon. Where? Here and here. This is defined never used. Yeah, because I'm not using this function for now. Missing semicolon here and another missing semicolon, but that one I don't know where is. Maybe here, right? Yeah, I did this because the linter also helps you. Prevents like runtime issues from happening. Alright, I hope the watch is working. Well, it runs at least, but there are no mobs. Something bad happened here, okay? So the label was created, but something happened. Okay, yes, this function doesn't exist yet. Get nearby target. I think there's another function which is actually that's the only one that is missing. So get nearby target for now will always return the player, so we are going to just return the player. Okay, I'm back and I'm going to delete this text. Alright, let's see if there's any questions. Nothing in the chat, nothing here. So as I said, we are going to just return the player here. We have a reference here to the player that we can use. So it's always going to return the player. In the future, we are going to implement some kind of line of sight, probably simplified, not sure. And it will also need to be cached some way, probably, but for now, let's just return the player. So it's always going to return the player, and I'm going to do something else. I'm going to make one of these mobs have the same alignment that we have. So let's make a Shamino, which is a demon. Let's make it have a D alignment. Yeah, it's the same with the player. And let's make this rat have a A alignment. So where was it? Lost it. Yeah, it's okay. Yellow rat A. And Shamur the skeleton is also a monster, so it's going to have the A alignment as well. And let's make the NPC factory, have that in mind. So we are actually building the NPC from that definition. Let's make the alignment of the NPC be the alignment of definition, or B. A. What? A is the actual enemies. Okay. And let's remove that assignment from that default assignment that we were doing here. All right. Okay. Well, it's working, and they seem to be walking towards me. Right. Let's try again. The skeleton and the rat should be trying to get me. they are just a bit slow, but they are trying to get me. And let's see about the demon. It seems to be doing it as well, which is not good because oh, actually, well, we are not using the alignment yet for the target selection, so it's okay that they are all trying to get me, but they are too slow. And I hate it when you can't just run away from fights like this. That was pretty bad on some ports that they did for the Ultima games, like the Savage Empire port for the Super Nintendo, Super Famicom, or the Ultima 7 one. So I'm not going to let that happen, and the idea is that I think what I was thinking to prevent this was that monsters could move quickly, I mean quicker than you can, so that they can get you into combat mode very quick. And if you are smart, you can see them coming and then turn into combat mode before they get to you. So actually, when you're in combat mode, this seems to be working pretty fine because uh, they are all moving at the same speed. Well, what happened? Okay, so that skeleton saw that he was blocked and then moved randomly, which is the solution that we implemented for now. But other than that, they seem to be trying to get me, which is what I wanted. Great. Well, that worked. And the rat decided to stand by because we haven't asked them to attack, so we will do that right now. Basically, we already have an implementation for the attack, but only the player is using it, and the actions that the player does are controlled by this player state machine that Camila created. I used to have this in the game, or UI probably. Yeah, I think I had it on the UI. That's okay. So basically, let's see, the attack command here works by letting the player pick the direction of the attack, and then it uses this attack on direction. So we can actually use this same function for the mobs to attack, because as I said, they are the same as the player. So we are going to do that. We are going to use the attack on direction function, and we already have the direction here. And actually this one is similar to the move 2, so it also returns a promise. So that will work. Let's see, before jumping into it, if it will work. So basically they are going to get the player in this case, and they are going to attack it by showing the kind of flashy icon over the target. Then there will be a delay, and then the icon will be hidden, and then I'm going to use the actual attack function, and this function will do the calculations and will return a delay as well. So in theory it should work. Let's see if that works. We are missing a semicolon here. Thank you. JS hint. Right. Okay. So first off, I will try to see how it works outside combat mode. No, actually I'm going to go first for combat mode because it's more likely to work. So let's just walk all the way here and then switch on combat mode. Combat mode, right. Shamino attacked me. Slashie barely won it. It worked, which is great. So why did you dare attack me, Shamina? Die, monster. Shamina dies, and there comes a rat. Will the rat try to attack me? Probably. Bang. Barely wounded. I am too strong for you, rat. Bang. Die, rat. Alright. That's right. Now, how will it work if I don't go to combat mode? Let's abandon the safety of this building and see. Come here, rat. Hit me. The rat is coming to get me. Rat, come closer. It kind of worked. I think it's good enough. I mean, other than what I mentioned about being able to run from a combat like this. Oh wow, what's that? Well, this one is also a friendly NPC that can attack you too. Are you crazy? Die, monster. Bye, monster. Bye. So, something happened there. Alright, I was attacked like in the middle of moon. Yeah, I need to find out a way to prevent that. That's like an incompatibility between the free movement and the grid nature of the... Because the combat takes some time. Oh, something happened. Oh, well, they killed me. They killed me, and I don't have a corpse for the humans, I think. I don't have a definition for the human corpse. Because I didn't expect to die yet. So if we check, well, actually there's a man corpse here. So what happened? Oh, there's not an item, right? We are missing the item. Human corpse, but we need a man corpse. So they killed me. Huh. Alright. So far the plan's going right. Going along pretty good. Slashie dies. Yeah, I died. So yeah, I gotta make it so that when you're attacked, you go into combat mode. That's easy. But yeah, I don't know how I can prevent this this kind of event when you are hit and you are moving at the same time like this. What? Right? That doesn't look good. Looks like when you are hit. I mean the enemy should only be able to hit you if you are not moving. I think that may also be solved with the combat mode transition, because you're going to be hit and the next turn you will be in combat mode, so maybe it will not be that bad. Kill me. Well, almost there. One step. Porter. Man corpse. Human corpse. Man corpse. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, because in the tileset that we're using, there's like a different sprite for the man and the woman, I think. Try to hit me, demons. Yeah, 2 hits in a row. By the way, they can still move while I am talking. They can hit me too. Let me go! Let me go! Bye. Well, I was killed. I was killed. Poor Avatar died. I wondered what will happen if I try to move. Well, I am dead. For good. I think actually what happened is that the sprite is gone, but I'm still there, but doesn't look like it. It looks like I'm dead for good. Okay, so the next step is transitioning to combat mode when I am hit. But first I'm going to come with this um, partial, I forgot what I was going to say. Partial advancement. But before that I'm going to make sure the alignment is working. So I'm going to do a small change here to get a nearby target. And I am going to only do this if this dot alignment is A. I think the monsters are A, right? If the alignment is A, then I am going to return to player, else I am going to return false, so that they walk randomly. And I'm also going to assign the neutral alignment to the rat. So in this case, only the skeleton should try to hit me, if everything goes well. Let's see how that works. What happened? Yeah, one of the problems that... Oh, right. So, only the skeleton should be trying to get me, was it? I think it was like that, but... No. Something's not good here. No one's trying to get me. It's like the alignment is not being assigned, probably. This alignment NPC factory sets the alignment to definition the alignment array. The definition is the NPC definition and the alignment is here, so interesting. What's going on? Let's see, let's check the NPC factory and let's see if the alignment is being set here when they are created. So this one's the rat, right? The definition has an alignment of n neutral. So what? Okay, something weird happened there. Definition alignment. Oh, typo. Great. I had a typo here. NPC factory alignment. Alignment, right. We can actually skip it. So only the skeleton should be trying to get me. Skeleton can't get me. Or was it the demon? No one's trying to get me. No, the rat's neutral, so it should not. The demon is standing there. Let's see again. Alignment. Alignment. Another typo. Alignment. Alignment. Okay. skeleton. Are you my enemy? If you are my enemy, come here. Yes, you are my enemy. Are you my enemy? Yes, because you're trying to get me, but I am very quick. Rat, are you my enemy? No, you're not. You are just a friendly rat, as well as you. Okay. Lying in man is working, and I'm glad that I did this final change, because those typos are hard to notice. Okay. No questions yet. No questions. Okay. I am not sure. Well, I actually decided to do this like a couple days ago, and I always fail at publicizing this kind of stuff. Maybe next time I will. I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure if I did post about it starting right now. Okay. We're going to commit these partial changes. Which included a cleanup, but also making the enemies try to hunt down the player. Player based alignment, and we also fixed this bug. And we also included phaser on the globals for JS heat. And I think we no longer need this. And what's this? I don't know what this is. Okay. So we need to do a couple of things here. First one is jumping into combat mode when you are hit. So that's something specific to the player. So what I'm going to do here is that in the mob class, and I could actually do this in a better way by extending the mob class into a player class, but I'm still not sure about that, because I want to keep the player as closely as possible as a mob, but maybe at some point I will need to do that to prevent having like some ifs around here. So what I mean is that, for example, this block of code, I could have this on a function on a class that extends the mob, a player class extending mob, having only this fragment of code in the act function, and likewise when the player is hit, then the damage probably maybe the damage, well, not the damage, because even if you're attacked by an enemy but it misses, or you shrug off the attack, you should still go into combat mode, I think. So maybe let's see, the attack one, yeah. By the way, this icon should only be shown if you are actually hit. Anyways, I think this is a good way, a good place to put it. So at least initially, let's do it here. But what is this? This is not what I wanted to copy here. I wanted to do something like, or was it? I want the comparison with the player reference. This part is what I want. So if this is the player, if the mob you're attacking is the player, and if the current status state, if the current state is not combat, if the current state is I forgot the name, world, yeah. Then we are going to switch the state to combat sync. Let's see what it does here. Start combat. Okay, so maybe what we can do is actually invoking this function. Looks like I mean, it will be like as if the player had hit the C key. That makes sense, because we also want the action to be disabled for the player so that the combat sync state works well. The problem is that this state machine is not accessible from the mob class, so we could like use the bus for it. We have a bus for it, and just emit and start combat action message of sorts, or we could just duplicate the code there, which is not very good. And I think what I will do, problem of doing this on the mob class is that we would have like a listener on the bus or for each mob, and that's not good. So for now I am just going to duplicate the code. I will find a better solution afterwards. So here it is, right? Actually we do have never mind, I don't need to do anything different here. I can just call this. And it will just continue on the flow. I could also do like a check versus combat, but I think this one works better. Okay. Okay. Try to attack me, skeleton. I'm waiting for you. Come here. Hit me. Combat mode. Ayolo Shamino. Shamuru hit me again. And that's something that I also need to fix. And it's making the player be the first mob to act on the combat phase. But, well, it seems to work, but let's see how it works if I am just moving by. Try to hit me. Well, didn't manage to. Try to hit me again. You hit me, and I was able to do another movement, but then it went into combat mode. So it works. I think it works fine. Let's see how it works when these hostile entities are quicker on the exploration mode, and that is controlled by this activate function. So basically what it does is, and it's only used on the world state, what it does is that the player acts, well, the mob acts, and then it does a check to see if we are on a combat synchronization phase, uh, and then it creates a delay of a random number of milliseconds between 500 and 3000, and then it activates. So what I want to do is, if this is a hostile mob, then the delay is going to be very small. Say, no, let's see how it works. 200 milliseconds. Else, it's going to be this one. And let's just put this here. And the hostile mob, let's use the get nearby target. So they are hostile if our alignment is A. Okay. And if we are hostile, then we move very quickly, and we move quicker than the player, and we will not let him escape from our attack. Let's see how that works. Oh wait, yes, this is not fun. So, what I was going to mention is that the problem with this sculpt task that Camilo created is that it doesn't output any error when the actual the browser file fails or something, and it's because it's not using the actual hooks for the errors, and we gotta fix that. I think the problem is that it's not catching the errors. Well, it is catching the errors here. So I don't know what's going on. I will have to check that later. Anyways, let's go back to use our shell script, and it's going to tell us that there's an error at mob. Actually, let's see if JS hint can prevent us from having that error. Yeah, that's right, we are missing this comma. Yeah, that was it. Okay. And let's try again. The skeleton should be moving much more quick now. Come here. Well, he's walking very quickly. Is he moving quicker than I am? Not yet, but almost. Ooh, he hit me. Yeah, that kind of works. Not that bad, but I will make sure that it's the same speed, so that if I wanted, I could just try to escape, but I cannot escape by walking past him. That's the idea. So let's look up that value. How long does it take for the player sprite to move? And it's already here, walk delay. So let's use that same value here in the when it moves, when we check the delay using this hostile move. And we are not going to use this, but we are going to use the walk delay from the UI module. Come here, skeleton. Well, something happened there. Alright, the watch is no longer running, so we have to build it manually. I think if we leave the watch on and rely on the JS hint. Okay. Just when I did it, it failed. Let's see what happened there. Well, there's nothing wrong here. No. Oh well, that was weird. Let's see. Try to get my skeleton. Well, it doesn't seem to be this new value. Maybe I remove that. No, it's already here. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Let's try using manual. Maybe there's an additional delay on the movement action. That's probably it. Yeah, it looks like that's the issue. So, when the mob is walking, when he uses the mob too, we have we are actually already using the word delay here. So I don't know what's going on. If we are using the activate, we are using a different. Hi. Do you want to be on the camera? Okay. Hi everybody. I'm programming. This is the future programmer for Slashie. Okay. Okay. Oh, we have some questions. Dimitri. Yeah, that happens. Well, no, actually, I'm using Phaser. You can see it here in the main module. Is it here? No, it's on the UI module. So here's where we are actually creating a Phaser game, and we keep a reference to the Phaser game in a lot of places, and we use it to create the sprites and the groups and the layers and everything. So yeah, I'm using Phaser. I think it's maybe the current version probably, but not the new Phaser 3, Phaser 2, I don't know. The classic Phaser, I think it's the latest version for it. So yeah. Okay. Well, we are almost done here with what we wanted to do in this streaming, besides having the enemies be quick enough. And I wonder if I just make a lower delay here, will that work? Not sure, but I'm going to try. Let's try to put like a 100 value here, just to see if that would work. There's still some delay. It's not working, not really working. I mean, they are quick, but what I want is for them to have like a fluid walking animation, so without stopping, and they still have a slight delay that will allow me to run away. So that small detail is still something that I gotta check and make sure it works well. That I didn't like that. Well, I don't think that delay is good, because if it's below the walking animation threshold, it's going to cause funny things to happen, and I don't think that's the actual issue. So I'm going to roll back that change, and there's some other place where we are having actually no, we cannot do that. So when we move, we are doing a twin for the walk delay animation and then returning that delay. So does it make sense to return more delays? Because when we are activating the mob, we are executing the action, and then okay, so maybe if I return 0 here, but if there was already an issue returning 100, because the delay is already happening here. When the act function is invoked, it in the end invokes the move to function, and the move to function does the delay here, unless it's locked or something. Yeah, that's tricky. Let's put it like this and try to see if it works, just to see if it works. And it doesn't screw up things. Well, why are you so shy? Well, it's all working, except when blocked. It's trying to cross the wall. That was unexpected. Yeah, doesn't seem to work very well. I mean, I gotta find another way. For now, I'm going to just put the walk delay here, and then I will see what's going on. But actually, it's pretty good. I mean, I would like it to be like a more fluid, dangerous, but I think even like this, it may work. I mean, you see the enemies approaching. They are quick, maybe not as quick as you are, but quick enough to pose a threat, and you can still run away, but you are the avatar, not really. Well, but you may eventually get into a dead end, and then you will have to fight. In any case, that's something that I will look at and try to make it better. But for now, it works pretty good. So let's commit that part. And it was basically what we did was making these hostile mobs move much quicker, and also make it the transition to the combat mode when we are attacked. So transition to combat mode automatically when attacked, make hostile mobs move quicker on exploration mode. Okay, we're going to push these changes. And let's see how this is looking. Okay. So actually, what I can see here is that Camilo is working on the inventory, and I wonder if, I mean, he still hasn't sent the pull request, but if we are curious, we can check what he's doing. So why not? We are already here, so let's check. Let's take a look. And let's actually, I think what he's been able to do so far is picking up stuff from the ground, pick up items from world, displayed item on map, pick up items on map, display a message when grabbing items, and I want to see the whole branch. Remove from level. Okay, let's just pick and see what he's working on. Okay. These are my local branches. I forgot how to check out the references. Let's try. I think this version of Git allows us to do this, but not in Mac. Was this the name? Inventory system. Yep. Let's see what you're working on, Camilo. So he put a fish and a lobster in the map, and I can get it. Got some lobster, got some fish. Great. Okay, so the final thing that I'm going to do is put some stuff to do here. Make enemies attack, parry, and transition to combat. This is done. Melee attacks in combat. Yeah, they are also done. And I have a list of stuff here that I still gotta do. And it was allow exiting combat mode, enemy with simple AI, and then party members. So actually, allow exiting combat mode, that's something pending right now. Once you enter combat mode, you're stuck there. Then enemies with simple AI. This transition is already done, at least for the melee attacks. But I think we can enhance the enemy's AI with simple pathfinding so that they don't get stuck when they hit a wall or another mob. And other thing is the party members. So I wonder if they are already alright, they are already here. So these are the next steps. As you can see, we already have like a list of stuff based on the plan that we put on the blog, and we will eventually get to finishing that plan, which is here. Basically, the idea is that Camilo is focusing on the capabilities, while I am focusing on the aspects. So right now, the idea is that he's going to work on the inventory, and then, well, he's already worked on the dialogues, and all these kind of features of capabilities, things that the player can do. Moving around the map, well, this is a basic capability which I already put there. Picking up items, he already started working on that, as you could see. Examining the map, well, then talking with NPCs, then checking the statuses, then all the inventory, which we are planning to have an hybrid between the classic Ultima 6 style and the Ultima 7 floating containers or floating dialogues per container, which is more usable. And because the idea in the project, with this project, is to allow you to create an RPG which has some aspect of the classic RPGs, but is still a modern game which is easy to play and takes advantage of all the changes and all the tools that we have at hand right now. So, for example, I have been thinking about that, and I think all the inventory part is probably going to be mouse driven, or at least that's what we're going to be focusing on. Still deciding on that. I think it should still be a keyboard. I mean, it should still be possible to use the keyboard to control the inventory, for example. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be mostly for desktop, where you have a mouse, and the keyboard is going to be useful for moving around. But when you are moving items between containers or checking them, it's a bit cumbersome to use the keyboard for that. Still, since the idea is for it to also be playable in the future in consoles or using gamepads, then definitively we are going to need the support for the keyboard. Uh, but on the other hand, we are also planning for this to be playable on mobile or touch screen devices, and the mouse support helps. I mean, if you already support mouse, it's much easier to support touch devices. So yeah, and I think that's what I wanted to share. We did some good advancement on combat, and I'm going to continue working on that. The next stuff to add besides these items that we put on the list is the actual range tag, so you can use bows or crossbows or pistols or something like that. Um, the idea is the basis of all the engine is one big change that I did was making it work using promises. So that's going to make it easier to allow multiple ways of, for example, selecting a target, and this will allow us to support a mouse and the keyboard at the same time, because it's going to be transparent for the component that is waiting for a direction to be chosen or for a target to be chosen, and there can be several different objects ready to fulfill that promise in one way or another. And so yeah, that's the next thing that I have to work on, and I think that's it. Let's see if there's any other question. I don't see any question on the channel here, nor on the Twitch stream. So hold on a second. So I think that concludes this streaming, and I hope that this time I managed to actually save it and push it to my YouTube channel, because last time with the Anaya release party I actually screwed up and failed to save the video. but I think it will work this time. Okay, so Dimitri has a question. What happens with big maps in the future? Right. Yes, there's going to be a chunks system, and the idea is that it will be something similar to what I do in my latest game, uh, Lost in Asterion. Right. So this is a completely different game, but here it's also like an infinitely growing map, and the chunks are generated procedurally. But in OpenArthurian, they are going to be loaded from the maps as the player walks around. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things regarding the maps system. That's why it's like a full aspect here, maps, because we need to support the map transitions, support multiple stories. So have, for example, support buildings with multiple stories. Um, so what's going to happen with mobs on the edge of the map? So what I have thought about this is that if the mob if the position of the mob is far from the player, it's going to be disabled. So that kind of conflicts with the idea of the NPC schedules, because we want them to be moving around based on a schedule. For example, if it's a shopkeeper, it's going to be walking to his house at some point of the day, and then walking to the store and doing like acting based on the schedule. So maybe we will have to cheat a bit and teleport the mob to wherever he's meant to be, if in case it's not on the sphere of influence of the player, and that's like when the detailed actions are happening. And so yeah, they are just paused. They are yeah, like disabled until the player returns being close to them. That's an idea. This applies mostly for NPCs, which are like persistent mobs. Um, for other kind of mobs, for enemies, for example, maybe they will just die. I'm not sure. But yeah, we are still making a lot of things on the go. But yeah, that's the idea. Because we do want to support big maps. Another thing that is worth talking about is, and this is also related to the maps, is that we do want to support a dual scale system similar to the more classic Ultimas, Ultima 4, Ultima 3, 4, 5, while still keeping these zoomed areas. So I think it's something similar to what the Shard of the Avatar does right now, but I haven't played Shard much. So, and that will be completely optional, of course. If you want to create a model using just a single zoom scale, that will be fine, similar to Ultima 6, Savage Empire, Martian Dreams. But you will also have the option of using an overworld map, um, so that you can have like a project a grand scale of the world. I think that's important. All right. If you have any other questions, please do them via Twitter. If you are one of the supporters of the campaign, after I think it was the dragon level, I don't know, if you have access to the Discord channel, you can also ask your questions there. We will continue working on this project. We love what we're doing here, and we hope to fulfill all the scope that we had in the campaign, and we will keep in touch. So thank you for coming to this stream, and I will see you soon. Bye.